everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. So today I thought we would do a little bit of a sequel to my What No One Tells You About Giving Birth and Postpartum. This is 5 things nobody tells you about motherhood. And again, this is just my experience, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, so don't take anything too personally. But number 1 is the fact that you will second guess everything. I always thought that, you know, I knew children, I knew babies, I'm the oldest of 5, like, you know, I've got a vague idea. No. And not just that you weren't prepared and that you didn't know, even though you thought you were. It also came as somewhat of a shock to me that I felt so insecure about my decision making. I didn't know if I was doing the right thing, and people kind of talk to you about that mum instinct, and it is there in the kind of protectiveness and all of that kind of thing, but for me it wasn't there in the kind of strength in my conviction and being able to know what was wrong. And you kind of don't realise it, but like, you know, you, just because it's your baby doesn't mean that you know exactly, without them being able to communicate anything when they're days old, exactly what's wrong and exactly what they want and whether or not you're doing the right thing at that particular point in time. And you can't give yourself a hard time about it. And I beat myself up and I feel guilty and I make it hard for myself so much when it comes to motherhood, and I know that I do, and I really try and kind of not let that voice kind of seep in, but it's very hard for me. It really is, and I didn't think it would be as pronounced as it is, that kind of feeling of not knowing whether you're doing the right thing and second guessing your choices. It does get better the further into it you are. I'm a year in, which is madness, but yeah, it's a learning curve. The second one is that you will be underprepared for the sleep situation. Now, this will not apply to everybody. Most people, I think, babies start to sleep a little bit better around 6 months. You have various leaps and stuff, but it's okay. My thing is, Lola's only just started occasionally sleeping through the night, and she's 1. So I think it will get better, but we have had a really tough time sleep-wise for various reasons. I did a whole video about it, I'll link it down below. But nothing prepares you for the kind of lack of sleep that you will experience. It's kind of like a brain fog lack of sleep, where all you can think about is sleep. It's bizarre. And my kind of thing with it was, I always felt like I was trying to fix the problem. There was something that was causing it, you know. Was it too hot? Was it too cold? Was it this? Was it that? Was it her wake windows? Which, by the way, I didn't know wake windows were a thing until I looked it up. I kind of feel like your midwife should really discuss that with you, because babies do have varying wake windows. With them, like, not midwives even, because that's too early on, but like the health visitors, which they didn't with me. But I just felt like controlled by the sleep thing, and I still do to an extent. It's really hardcore. And I kind of thought, right, okay, you know, once your baby doesn't sleep, you can do gentle sleep training. Some people kind of do the cry out method, which works for some people. Some people do, like, there's lots of different methods. The room in the chair thing, the whatever, all of these different methods. I never did the cry out thing because I didn't feel comfortable with that. But, and that's no judgment, by the way, if you do, like, I totally get it. It's just, I don't think I could cope with it. But the varying bits of sleep training would work for a minute and then would stop working, and it just got to a point where nothing was working and we just gave up, and we were just doing sort of like, you know, musical beds at night, where sometimes she'd come in here with us, and then sometimes there wasn't enough room, and then sometimes she'd go and sleep in the other room with Paul, so then there was a bit more room and one of us would get a bit more sleep, and it was just like that. It's slowly, touch wood, I feel like I'm terribly jinxing myself here, getting better. But yeah, it's a challenge, and I do think I was very underprepared for that, and I wish I'd kind of read up a little bit more and understood things like sleep cycles and all of that kind of thing, just so that I knew what I was kind of looking at dealing with and felt better equipped. The third thing is I'm just looking at the list on my phone because, like I said, brain fog, I don't remember very much. You will not be the kind of mum that you think you will be. And what that means is that You might think that you're super chilled, and then you realise that you have this tiny human that depends on you and you want everything to be perfect and right for them, and suddenly you're not so chilled. I'm not a chilled person pre-baby. I'm quite tightly wound, I'm quite neurotic, I'm very controlling, and I like routine. I sound wonderful. And so that part of it was really difficult for me. Letting go of kind of structure and routine until you kind of get into one was hard for me, and even just letting go of one is really, really hard for me. I very much like things to be a certain way. But I just thought that I was somebody that motherhood would come really, really natural to. Again, like I said, oldest of 5, I'm quite a kind of maternal type person. And it didn't come as naturally to me as I thought that it would. There are elements of it that I kind of find a little bit boring and that I just think are kind of a bit like meh. And that's not to say that, you know, like I don't love my child, of course I do, but it didn't come as naturally to me, the whole role, as I thought that it would. And kind of accepting that you don't have time for yourself anymore and all of that kind of thing was hard. I thought it was just one of those things that as soon as you have a child, it just switches. But you're still you inside, you still want the same things, you still need the same things, you just have to put them aside for somebody else. And you do, all the time. But it doesn't mean that it's really easy. And that's kind of what I thought was interesting. The fourth thing is a little bit more of a funny one, and it is that you'll think that every stage of your baby is the best stage, and that is true, bar the really... See, there is a magic to the really early newborn days where they just lie on you and that's all you do, and it's lovely. But then when they're like, I don't know, like 6 months old, it's a really cute age where they can play and stuff, but like she's worn out and she's so playful and she's got so much personality and it's just so cute and she's so funny and she interacts with you. And that's just so nice. But I think at each stage you think that's going to be the case. That's how people end up having more than one child, isn't it? Because you're trying to recapture it each time. Yeah, I can totally see how that kind of happens, and it's really quite funny. But I definitely think now it's the best stage. And then the last one is the love thing is very, very true. That you will love them like you don't love anybody else. Like I said to my sister the other day, yeah, it's weird. Like I love Lola in a way that, this sounds awful, but in a way that makes me look at loads of other people that I love. And I'm just like, yeah, like I love you, but no, nowhere near as like, not like I love Lola. Just not even like, it's like that. And she got offended by that, and I was like, I'm sorry, but it's just true. And it's like a combination of this protective love and this being in love type love. It's so strange, where you're just in awe of them, and the fact that they need you and love you is just so lovely. But I also think that that love kind of builds itself. Looking back now, I don't think that that kind of wave of, oh my god, like I love her, instantly came. It took like a few days even to sort of register, like, this is your baby. This isn't just a baby that then you give back. This is your baby. It's a very, very big thing, because it's this baby that you haven't met before, you don't know them, and you're both kind of getting to know each other. And people don't talk about that. People make it out like it's this instant thing, and it is an instant thing of like that you will protect them and you will take care of them. That is instant. But that kind of like love feeling, I think, is a builder in a certain sense. But when you get there, it is just this kind of like insane love. And I love her so much now, and I'm so like in awe of her and in love with her, that I think when she's like 20, am I going to feel like that as well? My mum said you don't. I don't know what that says about us. But I just wonder, like, oh, will I still feel like that when she's like 20? And she's a lawyer. She's not going to be a lawyer when she's 20, when she's like 25. But yeah, that is my 2 cents on things that no one tells you about motherhood. But there's plenty more if you want me to do kind of like a more like practical kind of stuff. These are more just like, not wishy-washy, but you know what I mean, kind of things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.